Howdy do, folks. It's your old Uncle Jason here again, serving you up a hearty spiritual meal. Today we're going to be doing Isaiah chapter 3, and I gotta tell you, it's a hefty one. Keep in mind, the book of Isaiah may be talking to the people of Israel, but the warnings and the encouragement still bode well today and hold water just as it did back then, because there's many a times we've fallen just like our predecessors. So let's get into it, folks. Isaiah chapter 3. For behold, the Lord of hosts, doth take away from Jerusalem and from Judea the stay and the staff, the whole stay of bread and the whole stay of water, the mighty man and the man of war, the judge, the prophet, and the prudent, and the ancient, the captain of 50, and the honorable man, and the counselor, and the cunning artificer, and the eloquent orator. And I will give children to be their princes, and babes shall rule over them. And the people shall be oppressed, every one by another, and every one by his neighbor. The child shall behave himself proudly against the ancient, and the base shall abase against the honorable. When a man shall take hold of his brother of the house of his father, saying, Thou hast clothing, be thou our ruler, and let this ruin be under thy hand. For in that day shall he swear, saying, I will not be an healer, for in my house is neither bread nor clothing, make me not a ruler of the people. For Jerusalem is ruined, and Judea is fallen, because their tongue and their doings are against the Lord, to provoke the eyes of his glory. The shew of their countenance doth witness against them, and they declare their sin as Sodom, they hide it not. Woe unto their soul, for they have rewarded evil unto themselves. Say ye to the righteous that it shall be well with him, for they shall eat the fruit of their doings. Woe unto the wicked, it shall be ill with him, for the reward of his hand shall be given him. As for my people, children are their oppressors, and women rule over them. O my people, which led thee, cause thee to err, and destroy the way of thy paths. The Lord standeth up to plead, and standeth to judge the people. The Lord will enter into judgment with the ancients of his people, and the princes thereof. For ye have eaten up the vineyard, the spoil of the poor is in your houses. What mean ye that ye beat my people to pieces, and grind the faces of the poor, saith the Lord God of hosts? Moreover the Lord saith, Because the daughters of Zion are haughty, and walk with stretched forth necks, and wanton eyes, walking in mincing as they go, and making a tinkling with their feet. Therefore the Lord will smite with a scab or the crown of the head of the daughters of Zion, and the Lord will discover their secret parts. In that day the Lord will take away the bravery of their tinkling ornaments about their feet, and their cauls, and their round tires like the moon, the chains and the bracelets and the mufflers, the bonnets and the ornaments of the legs, and the headbands and the tablets, and the earrings, the rings and the nose jewels, the changeable suits of apparel, and the mantles, and the wimples, and the crisping pins, the glasses, and the fine linen, and the hoods, and the veils. And it shall come to pass that instead of sweet smell there shall be stink, and instead of a girdle a rent, and instead of well-set hair, baldness, and instead of a stomacher, a grinding of sackcloth, and burning instead of beauty. Thy men shall fall by the sword, and thy mighty in the war, and her gates shall lament and mourn, and she, being desolate, shall sit upon the ground. That's a heavy warning towards us folks. We care more about putting on a show and telling tales than we do about following the Lord. Now, what all that meant with the ladies is that they're basically presenting themselves as available when they aren't. The bells around the feet was to get the men's attention, was to show them that they were available for, adult relations or marriage proposals. Basically putting on airs. It's the equivalent of what's happening today, only there's no bells all around the feet. They got the ankle bracelets, but there's no literal bells. You know how the ladies do, and even some of the guys wear to get the opposite sex's attention. They become lovers of pleasures more than the lovers of God. And that's a warning of the coming fire that will besiege any and all who walk away from the Lord. They will be brought down. We will be brought down. Because I'm just as guilty as those being warned right now. I encourage you today to ponder this chapter. Ponder the signs of the times, not only back then, but also today. Because today is just as relevant as it was then, and vice versa. They that fail to learn the lessons of the past are doomed to repeat them. Let's learn from the lessons of our predecessors and make sure we're right with God before the time. Because like the 7 foolish virgins, there will come a time where the ones who are wise won't have enough, even at least they won't have enough for themselves, and then we'll be left behind. So we best be getting on our best behavior and fall in line. I pray that if you did stray from the path, that you return to it as quickly as possible. I pray that each and every single one of us return to the Lord, even if we are close to the Lord. I pray that the love of God never depart from us. Herein ye shall know that ye are my disciples, that ye have love for one for another. Just a little bit of word from the Lord. So, until we meet again, folks, you stay safe now, and stay blessed. Stay in the shadow of the Almighty. It's your old Uncle Jason signing off. Until the next time, for another rendition of a Hearty Spiritual Meals.